Hey everybody, it's Alex Hart with the Pro League, and welcome to a little explanation on the 10 stops on the Roundnet Roadmap. So the Roundnet Roadmap was created over a year ago and more as we kept thinking about how to help players come into the sport, move through the sport, and not just get stuck at the Premiere or nothing, or in my case, as I got Premiere, it was the end of my real advancing because despite the fact that I'm a young 42, my ability to progress through the next layer of 5.0 was it wasn't gonna happen most likely. However, not that it couldn't. And then is that we talked to so many people across the country. Just the 5.0 kind of got the progression kind of slowed down a little bit, or the people never got quite to the 4.5, and then people would come in, and they would just wonder what's next. And so we created this Roundnet Roadmap to engage, really clearly identify a player's roadmap from the moment they start playing to the moment till really never. And so you'll see through this Roundnet Roadmap. So let's go ahead and go through this. The objective of the Pro League and the roadmap is to help create more retention in the sport, so we don't have retirees at 22, and create more legitimacy. And so we can do more things. As more people stay and play competitively, we can do a lot more stuff in the sport, and not just the Pro League. So let's go through the Roundnet Roadmap. Number one really is, I started playing in my backyard 3 or 4 years before I even met anybody that played organized Roundnet. And so, but really, there's clubs and organizations all across the world. And so we just suggest a player 10 pickup. There's lots of different ways to do pickup. We do a King of the Net style competition. You might just play in your backyard with your family and friends. But attend a local pickup. Get engaged with the community. Get active. Learn the rules. And then once a player does that, then we don't want to scare people like, well, you got to come get Premiere, you got to come be competitive. If they want to do it casually just for the social, great. But if they do want to do more competitive Roundnet, then let's get them on that next step of their journey, which is let's get them involved in the 2v2 experience. There's so much here, so much. And the 2v2 is just get you, I remember that's everyone's real progression, right? Is to go through the ranks, every tournament director or organization, the old STS, USAR, Canada Roundnet, they have their ranks, and then you progress through that. Now we still have Premier. You need to improve your ELO score, get Elite or Select or whatever your organization local does it. But this is a chance for you individually with some friends to go and grow, and to get valuable experience. Then what's next is that in addition to this, in connection with, I guess you could say, this idea of a community identity starts to emerge. And a player should join a club. And not just play in Idaho Falls. I'm the Idaho Falls Roundnet community, but that really didn't mean a lot. No one was keeping track of how Idaho Falls did and how many Premier players we had. And so now that we have these clubs through the Pro League, this idea that the community can now compete as a club, have standings as a club, have championships recorded as a club, right? So we know that Livonia has made the finals twice in a row. We know that Montreal has made it twice in a row. Each one has a championship. This is objective information for those clubs, that now my club wants to be those guys. My club wants to make top bracket. My club wants to do this. And so, as players go through this journey, you'll see that we have these clear competitive objectives. When Caleb and I started our company 5 years ago, the one common theme was community competition. We did youth battles. We did state community versus community scramble battles. We just at every stretch of every way we were just competing. Boise versus Idaho Falls versus Rexburg, and so this idea of community competition, which is why when we first created the playoffs, we had boundaries. We just really are focused in, and we believe that communities or clubs that can compete against other clubs, it just creates more purpose and more value for everyone involved. And so that's kind of our theme. If you haven't noticed through the Pro League and ASL, is we like a community to compete against another community. So join a club. Then once you're there, then you get to start with this Pro League Challenger division. This is where you start. This is an amazing division. It's kind of the base of our pyramid, if we want to call it. This is a safe place to play. It's the first stop for players. You don't have to have any great skills. This is where you still continue to learn, but you're going to play the other club's challenger players who are in the same boat. And you don't get statistics. You don't have all these things to worry about. You're just traveling, associating. You might get a cool jersey. You're trying to win a championship in the challenger division for the club, and you're starting your competitive experience with the club. And so this is a great place. And then as you progress and you get better, you start to get some people looking at you and seeing your progression, and then they invite you to be on a minor division squad. And these squads this is depth. Every club can have as many minor division squads as they want, but the idea here is that you move through this. Again, you can go quick if you're really, you're a Vinny and just go whoosh pro, right? Or you might take your time, right? I took my time, and slowly but surely I just kind of moved through things. But now, let's say your club has 3 minor division squads. Why might I start on the 3rd squad? Get my contract, start getting stats, and start moving from the 7 to the 1 on the C squad, and then go to the B squad, and then go from 7 to 1, and then from B go to A, and then eventually, I'm starting to move up the depth chart, and I'm improving myself. That which we track, we can improve. In the minor division, you get your stats for the first time, and so you're tracking them every match day. You're looking at how you compare on the squad, in the conference, in the whole league, in serve and receiving and hitting and defense, and acing and the whole pro score algorithm. And so this is just the beginning of really high level competitive Roundnet play, and then eventually you make the top division. And this is where we split off. We have an all women's and all men's, and they're just only 7 players in your club can play on Saturdays in this division. And you're improving your contracts. You're going from a 7 to a 1. Again, following your statistics, trying to help your team win. All along the way, you've made it this far. But are we done? No, we're not done. You're now competing at the highest level in Roundnet, in the Pro League, and this is where you're trying to keep your spot, because now that we've got more retention in the sport, if you're like the 5, 6, and 7 on the pro team, you don't want to lose your spot. But all of the people in the minor division, they're gunning for that spot. They want to be on a pro team. They're not satisfied. But so now there's this competition happening, and eventually maybe you make your pro team. Maybe that competing club invites you to come play for their club team, and so kind of the fun starts to happen. And where this goes, we don't know specifically, but we're trying to foster this environment where there's player competitiveness, where players compete against players, clubs compete against clubs, and now players are trying to improve, clubs trying to improve, and eventually because of this, we're progressing, we're growing, and because fewer players love the sport, we're getting bigger, and there's a lot more cool things we can do with this. All right, so then it doesn't matter if you have a winning team or not. This is the individualness of it, where all along the way you're grinding, you're practicing, you're getting better, and your stats are showing it, and eventually you might make an all-star bid for your conference. So every conference is going to have all-stars, 7 to 14 of them selected, and they get to play in this fun all-star match at the end of the season before the playoffs. And so this is where you just do the best you can do. And if you can manage to get one of these, then you're going to separate yourselves, what we call a superstar, right? Now you've got that superstar status. You're an all-star. Can you do it twice or 3 or 4 times? And so this idea of being at the top of your game in the conference, in the league, is something every player can strive for, regardless of how their team does. And then, of course, everything's about winning the championship, right? Help your club win a championship. No matter what division you're in, they all have championships. Make it the Super Conference Championship, the Dual Conference Championship, whatever we can say, your sister conference championship, and then make it to the playoffs. Whatever bracket you qualify for, win that, and have that pride of winning championships. And again, everyone's going to get better, and this is just the beginning of less attrition and more retention and more legitimacy. But we're not done, right? So now we're doing all that, and all along the way, we're chasing stats. We're trying to improve our pro score. We're trying to rank among the best. These statistics will helps objectively grab players for future years, extend contracts, better contracts. Maybe you're going to be sought after by someone else in a different conference or the same conference, and so I was like, I don't want to lose you, and so what can I do? And so now there's incentive to go get extra resources to support the players, and then we create this demand, and there's this supply, and that's something that'll be exciting to see develop as this grows. But set records. John Stockton still holds the all-time assist record in the NBA. Steph Curry owns the all-time three-point record. We're gonna have stats, and we're gonna start creating these record books, and so you can come in and create a legacy. And then, of course, at some point in time, we'll start having Hall of Famers and people that will have cement their legacy in the pro league. And you don't necessarily have to win a championship to do that. And there's plenty of NBA All-Stars who have never won a championship: Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, etc., Karl Malone, John Stockton. And so this is something that just keep adding to it. And then number 10 is the highest honor one could have, truly, is to represent your country at the World Championship. And kudos to all of those who have put all the time and energy and work into creating this. Our national governing body, your national governing body. This is not easy to do. Super cool they have it, and we'll continue to have it. And so this is something you should all aspire for on this Roundnet Roadmap as you go. And if you're fortunate enough to be in a spot like this, then go bring home a gold and go make Roundnet history. But we're not done. Kind of now we've done this, and now we see how long we can do this, rinse and repeat, and continue to do it. But then give back. We're not, see, now that we've created this demand, players are just, there's more to aspire for and to continue to progress and to grow through the sport. And even when you're not playing, there's still more. Now we just need more coaches. We need more mentors. We need more supporters. We need more facility managers. We're gonna need more whatever. Maybe some scouters who go out and scout teams for clubs. Maybe some more podcasts or video casts and people to talk and hot takes and recaps. We're gonna need people to do trainings and exclusive defensive clinics and offensive clinics, and we'll just need more of that. There'll be a demand for clubs to want to hire people to come teach their clubs and their players more. And they're just going to expand as we grow. And so the vision here is an interclub league that's super fun, that takes from the 2v2s, which is amazing, all the way through the pro league squads and then beyond. And this just continues to grow the ecosystem of Roundnet. And thanks to everyone. And all these things working in cooperation with each other will grow the sport. And we're excited about the Pro League. So welcome to the Roundnet Roadmap. If you watch this whole thing, just get excited. There's something for you next. And don't stop now. And don't retire at 22. All right, see you guys.